I never meant for it to happen like this. But then again, when did we ever follow rules? His fingers traced lazy lines up my spine as I lay there beneath the sheets, still catching my breath. The hotel room was quiet, save for the slow hum of the ceiling fan and the way our breathing filled the space like music only we understood. You always get quiet after, Arav murmured, his lips brushing the back of my neck. Do I? I asked. Smiling to myself. You do, he pressed. A kiss just behind my ear. Makes me wonder what you're thinking. I'm thinking, I whispered, that I shouldn't be here. He rolled onto his side, propped himself up on an elbow, and yet, here you are. Don't be smug. You like me smug. I laughed, but it was the kind that didn't reach my eyes. I turned to face him. His eyes, dark and endless, studied mine. I wondered if he could see at my hesitation, the ache hiding behind the way I smiled at him. Arav, I said softly, what are we doing? Loving each other, he said instantly. I blinked. Is that what this is? He leaned down, kissed me like he needed to silence the question before it dug too deep. I kissed him back. I always did, even when I wasn't sure if it was love or just need or something far more dangerous. His skin was warm, tasted faintly of salt and sweetness. I wanted to memorize every inch of him because part of me feared I wouldn't have him much longer. You think too much, he murmured against my mouth. Someone has to. You worry too much. I have to, he sighed and pulled me closer. What would it take to make you stop? Honesty. That made him pause. Just for a second, but it was enough. I felt that tiny shift in the air, like something fragile had cracked. He covered it quickly with a smirk, brushing hair out of my face. You don't trust me. I want to. I searched his face. But sometimes I feel like I'm the only one falling. I'm here. Aren't I? Yes, but where are you? When I need to talk to you? When I broke off. Never mind. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. He ignored it. You can get that. I don't want to. You never answer calls when we're together. That's the point. He kissed me again. But this one felt like a distraction. I closed my eyes and let myself fall anyway. Maybe I was stupid. Maybe I just wanted to believe someone like him could belong to someone like me. The knock on the door nearly made me jump. Aarv sat up. You expecting someone? No, I said, pulling the sheet tighter around me. The knock came again, 3 soft taps. To familiar shit, I muttered, crawling off the bed. I reached for my clothes, half panicked. Who is it? Arav whispered. I think it's. The door creaked open. I froze. Leaner. She stood in the doorway, hand still on the knob, eyes wide. Wow, she said, blinking like she wasn't sure what she was seeing. Sorry, wrong room. She turned on her heel and walked away. Just like that, I stared after her, heart pounding. Why was she here? I don't know, Arav said, his voice too casual. Thought you said she was out of town. She was supposed to be. I threw my shirt on, legs trembling. Mirror, wait. I need to go. She didn't seem surprised. He said quietly. That stopped me. What? She didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't even ask questions. I stared at him. Why would she? He shrugged, looking far too calm. She just walked away, like she already knew. No, I said. My throat tight. She wouldn't, but something cold crawled into my stomach. He watched me closely. You okay? I don't know. He stood up and touched my arm. She won't tell anyone. She's your best friend, right? Yeah, I said softly. Right, but even as I said it, I wasn't sure I believed it anymore. She canceled again. I asked, holding the phone tighter. She said she's busy. Arav replied, she's always busy lately. Maybe she's just tired. I paused. Since when do you defend her? I'm not. He sighed, just saying, don't read into everything. But I was reading into everything. The missed calls, the awkward smiles, the way Lena's hugs had gotten shorter, more like habits than affection, and the way Arav had stopped looking me in the eye when I asked where he'd been. 3 days later, I sat across from Lena at a cafe. She stirred her tea like it personally. Offended her? You've been distant, I said. She glanced up, blinked like she didn't expect honesty. I've just had a lot on my plate. I know you have, I said, softer. But I miss you, she smiled. But it was then. I'm right here. No, you're not. Her eyes flicked down. Why are you being like this? Because I'm scared you're lying to me. About what? I don't know, my voice cracked. That's what scares me. That night, Arav didn't answer my call. I called again. Voicemail? I waited. Then his message came through. Busy. Talk later. 2 words. No heart, no warmth. Later came 2 days after. He pulled me into his apartment like nothing was wrong. His arms wrapped around my waist, lips brushing my neck. You disappeared, I said. I told you. Work? You didn't say work. You said busy. Same thing? No, it's not. I pulled away. You don't touch me for 3 days and expect me to just melt the second you kiss me. He tilted his head. That's not how I see it. Then how do you see it? I see a girl I care about getting angry over nothing. My throat tightened. So I'm imagining things. He stepped closer. You're making things bigger than they are. I stared at him. My voice barely above a whisper. Are you seeing someone else? He didn't flinch, didn't deny. He just kissed me. And I let him. The next morning, Lena came over. She stood at the doorway like she didn't want to come in. I brought you food, she said, holding out a brown paper bag. I stepped aside. Thanks. She sat on the edge of the couch. Arms crossed, I sat across from her. Can I ask you something? She looked at me, hesitant. Sure. Are we okay? Why wouldn't we be? I don't know. You tell me, she forced. A laugh? You're being dramatic again. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just not stupid. Lena opened her mouth, then closed it. Is this about Arav? I froze. Why would it be? She looked down at her lap. You're acting like I did something wrong. Did you? She stood up suddenly. You know what? I don't think I want tea after all. I never offered tea. She didn't answer, just grabbed her purse and turned to leave. Except, she dropped it. Contents spilled out. Lip balm, wallet, a folded receipt. I bent down to help her, but she snatched things too fast, too desperate. Except one. My fingers closed around it before she could. Hotel Starline, room 407. 2 nights ago, Lena, I said, holding it up. What is this? She froze. Tell me this isn't yours. Her eyes didn't move. It's not what you think. Oh, then what is it? She looked up. Finally, but the lie came. First, not the truth. It's for a friend. I was just holding it. A friend? Yes. Which friend? She said nothing. I laughed. The kind of laugh you let out when crying feels like too much effort. You could have picked anyone, Lena, I whispered. But it had to be him, didn't it? I didn't mean for it to happen. So, did happen. She blinked, but the tears didn't fall. Her voice was soft. He came to me. And you didn't say no? Silence. I nodded slowly, then held out the receipt to her. She didn't take it. I dropped it on the floor. Get out. Mirror. Get out. She left without saying another word. My knees gave out the second the door shut. I stared at the receipt on the carpet. It was her purse, not his. And now, I couldn't unsee it. I didn't knock. I didn't text first. I just stormed through Lena's door like I had every right because once I did. She looked up from the kitchen, spoon in her hand, like she'd just seen a ghost. Mira. I held up the receipt, still wrinkled from where I'd clutched it all night. Tell me again. What friend was this for? Her face drained of color. You came into my apartment. I picked it up off my floor. Remember? When your purse exploded, she walked toward me slowly, her voice trembling. Mirror, let's talk. We are talking. She stopped. Please don't yell. I haven't even started. She sat down on the couch like her knees gave out. It was a mistake. No, I said, for it to be a mistake, it has to happen once. Not twice. Not in room 407 2 nights ago. Her lips trembled. I didn't plan it. Did you scream when he kissed you? I asked. Did you tell him no? Or did you kiss him back and moan the way I used when I trusted you? She flinched like I slapped her. I hated that part of me still hurt for hurting her. I thought you loved me. I whispered. I do, she said, crying now. I got confused. He told me he was unhappy. And happy with me? She nodded. Ashamed, Lena, I said, voice breaking. You were my best friend. You knew everything. I didn't mean to. Stop saying that. I thought he loved me. I just stood there, shaking. So you betrayed me for a maybe. She said nothing. I turned for the door. I need to hear it from him. I found Arav in the hallway outside his office. He smiled like nothing had happened. Hey, you slept with her. His expression didn't change. Not even a flinch. She told you. She didn't have to, her persisted. He sighed, like I was asking about the weather. You're overreacting. Did it mean anything? That's not the point. It is to me. He looked down at his hands. You always wanted more than I could give. That's not true. I wanted honesty. And I wanted simplicity. My voice cracked. So you chose her. I chose peace. My eyes burned. And I was chaos. He looked up finally. You were never mine to keep. What does that even mean? It means, he said, walking past me, you gave your heart to someone who never promised to hold it. I stood there long after he left, choking on silence. I don't remember texting Yusuf. I don't remember getting into the cab. I just remember standing outside his apartment, swaying, holding a bottle like it could anger me to anything that wasn't falling apart. He opened the door in sweatpants, rubbing his eyes. Mirror. I didn't know where else to go. He stepped aside instantly. Come in. I collapsed onto his couch. She knew. I figured. She told me he loved her. Yusuf sat beside me, not touching, just listening. And he didn't even deny it. He just walked away, like I was some mistake. You're not, he said quietly. I am, to him. I am. You were never the problem, Yusuf said. He's always been a card. I laughed bitterly. You hated him from the start. Because I saw how he looked at himself more than he ever looked at you. I looked up at him, eyes blurry. Why are you still here? Because I remember the girl who cried when her fish died and skipped her own birthday party to take care of me and I was sick. That girl's gone. She's not, he said. She's just hurt. I broke down, right there, in the dark, on a couch that smelled like cinnamon and familiarity. I sobbed like my ribs would split open. Yusuf didn't try to stop me. He just stayed, silent, steady. The only thing that didn't walk away. You remember that time we both snuck out to see that stupid movie? I said aloud. To no one. You cried when the dog died, and I pretended I didn't. The apartment was silent, except for the sound of paper crumpling in my fist. I didn't even like dogs back then, I whispered. But I held your hand anyway. The photo lay flat on the floor beside Mimi and Lena, each 13, matching braces and uneven eyeliner, laughing like we'd never learned how to lie. You think I should forgive her? I had asked Aunt Sarah once, years ago, after some middle school fight over a borrowed shirt. Forgiveness isn't the same as silence. Mirror, she said. Don't let your silence protect their lies. The first time Lena saw Arav, she had looked at me with her head tilted. He's intense, she said. He's brilliant, I replied, grinning. She smiled too. He's not your type. Why not? He looks like he could hurt you. I should have known. I should have remembered that pause. The way her eyes had lingered. Why do you always light up when he texts you? She asked once. Because I'm stupid. No, she said too fast. You're hopeful. Same thing. She left. If he breaks your heart, I'll break his nose. I had believed her. Sitting on my bedroom floor now, I could still hear her voice. I pulled the old showbox out from under my bed. Inside movie tickets, notes we passed in class, a broken bracelet we'd both worn for a summer. My hand shook as I flipped through the paper scraps of a friendship I thought would last longer than any M. A and I pulled out a blank page and started writing. Dear Lena, I don't know where to start. Maybe I should thank you because now I know what betrayal really feels like. You knew everything. You knew how scared I was to trust him. You knew how hard it was for me to believe I was enough, and you took him anyway. I don't care if he wanted you. That part doesn't hurt. What hurts is that you said you'd never do this to me. You said you were my sister. You said I could always come to you. But now I wonder if you listened just to use everything I told you. Did you rehearse what you'd say when I found out? Did you wait for me to break so you could fix him? I hope it was worth it. I hope he was everything you thought he'd be, because now you're nothing like the girl in these pictures. I wish I could forget you. But I'll settle for surviving you. Mirai stared at the letter. Read it twice. Then I lit a match. It curled. Hissed, turned black. Why'd you burn it? Yusuf asked later when I told him. Because she doesn't deserve my words, I said. Only the silence I never gave her. I walked past our favorite bench the next day and sat down. Is this where she told you she liked him? I muttered, under my breath. No, that was me. I told her I liked him first. And she nodded and said, you always fall too hard. That wasn't concern. That was calculation. Arav once asked, why do you trust her so much? I laughed. She knows every ugly part of me and stayed. He had smiled. Maybe she likes your ugly parts. It felt like a joke then. Now I wasn't sure. You think she always wanted him? I asked Sarah over the phone, trying to keep my voice steady. I think some people only know how to take. Doesn't matter if they dress it up like love. She said he came to her. He did. But she didn't have to open the door. That night, I stared into the mirror, not to see if I looked okay, but to remember who I was before them, before Arav, before Lena's hungry eyes, before I gave away pieces of myself thinking it meant love. You were enough. I whispered to my reflection, you are enough. And for the first time, I didn't cry after saying it. Hey, I said, voice light. You look good. Lena blinked. You texted me. I did. She hesitated before sitting across from me. Why? Because I don't want to fight anymore. You're not angry. I said. Now I'm just tired. Her eyes softened. I've missed you. I smiled. I miss the girl you used to be. She looked down. I didn't mean. I know. None of us ever mean it, right? Later that night, Arav messaged me. Still think about you. Can we talk? I stared at the screen for a full minute. Then typed, sure, tomorrow, just talk. You're playing with fire, Yusuf said, watching me stir my coffee like I actually cared how it tasted. I know. What exactly are you planning? Closure? Don't lie to me. Mirror. I looked at him. You think I'm like them? I think, he said, you're becoming someone you're going to hate. I'll hate myself after I'm done. When Arav walked into the cafe the next day, he looked smug. He always did when he thought I wanted him back. Mirror. Arav. I gave him a small smile. Thanks for meeting me. I wasn't sure you'd text. I'm unpredictable now. He left, sitting across from me. You look different. Lighter, I offered. Regret suits you less, and guilt suits you perfectly. He tilted his head. This isn't about her, is it, Lena? I shrugged. She's not the one who looked me in the eyes and lied. You still love me. I still feel you. That's not the same thing. He leaned closer. What do you want? Mirror, closure, honesty, and maybe one last night. He raised a brow. You're serious? I met his eyes. Would I lie? I walked into Mr. Camel's office an hour later. He didn't smell, just pushed a form toward me. I've filed the first batch, he said, but we'll need more. You'll have it. You know, if this goes through, his company's done. I nodded. And Lena, I folded my arms. She wanted him. She can keep the ruins. Back at my place. Yusuf sat on my balcony, arms crossed. You lied to both of them. I know. And the lawyer, helping me, quietly, he stared at me. You really think revenge fixes anything? No, I said. But silence didn't either. He sighed. You're not like them. Not yet. That night, I typed another message to Arav. Come over. Just one more time. He replied in seconds. I knew you couldn't let go. I stared at the screen. My jaw tight. Neither could he. Yusuf caught me at the door. Are you sure? I'm not sure about anything anymore, I said. But I know this, he used me. So now I'm going to use him. You're better than this. Then pray I remember that, after it's done. Arav showed up wearing the same cologne that used to make me weak. You look beautiful, he said. I let him kiss my cheek. Let him think I melted. But this time, I kept my heart behind my teeth. Drink? I offered. Only if you join me. We sat on the couch, wine in hand. Fix smells like masks slipping into place. I've missed this, he said. Me too, I whispered. He didn't notice I never said I missed you. I excused myself for a moment and grabbed the USB from the drawer, copies of his shady emails, bank logs, encrypted files he never thought I noticed. I slipped it in my coat pocket. He'd already started unbuttoning his shirt when I returned. You okay? He asked. I smiled. I've never been clearer. I walked in like the past never touched me. Eyes turned. Whispers followed. The heels clicked. The dress hugged. The lipstick bled red like a quiet war no one saw coming. Karma. Yusuf had said when he saw me at the door. Looks good on you, no? I'd replied. Karma wears lipstick tonight. The charity gala was packed. Crystal chandeliers, silver forks clinking against porcelain, fake people pouring fake compliments. And somewhere near the bar, Arav, he saw me the second I entered. His glass froze midair. I smiled. He did in single quotes. Lena stood beside him in a pale dress that tried too hard. Her smile cracked the moment she saw me. Mira, she breathed when I walked up. You look expensive, I offered. She laughed. Too quickly. No, I mean, yes, you look, wow, glow up season. I said smoothly. Didn't you hear? Arav stepped forward. Why are you here? It's a public event. You weren't on the guest list. I shrugged. Funny, you weren't on mine either. Yet you kept showing up. His jaw clenched. You set this up. I tilted my head. Set what up? That's when the murmurs started. Phones buzzing, brows furrowing. Across the ballroom, a man in a black suit handed envelopes to board members. Mir. Lena gripped her clutch tighter. What's happening? Arav's phone buzzed. Then again. He answered, froze, then turned to me, rage rising like heat. You used me. I stepped closer, close enough for only him to hear. I learned from the best. Is this real? Someone gasped behind us. Company funds, offshore accounts. A security officer whispered something to the event host. More eyes turned. Lena backed up a step. Mira, please tell me this isn't. You should have stayed out of it. I didn't do anything. I pulled a paper from my bag. Just one, your name, I said, pointing, is on this. She paled. That's not my signature. No, I agreed. But it's your name. Arav needed someone he could manipulate. Someone close. Someone quiet. Arav's voice cracked. You forged it. I looked at him. I watched you forge it. Gasps. Someone called for legal. A camera flashed. Lena turned to him. You said it was just for company taxes. You said you trusted me. He shot back. And you said you loved me. I smiled. He says that a lot. Stop. Lena begged. You don't know what you've done. I know exactly what I've done. Arav lunged forward. You're ruining everything. Already ruined, I said. I just turned on the lights. Security came. People parted. Arav's voice roared behind me as they held him back. I'll take you down with me. You already did, I said calmly. But I learned how to swim. I stopped near the exit, turned back to Lena, who stood trembling. I walked up to her, leaned in, and whispered, he'll hate you more than he ever hated me. Why? She whispered. Because he used me, I said. But he trusted you. Her face crumbled. I left before the cameras caught her tears. Outside, Yusuf waited beside his car. Done? He asked, for now. You okay? I exhaled. Slowly. Not yet. He nodded. But closer. Yeah. He opened the car door for me. And for the first time in months, I didn't look back. He knocked once. I didn't move. Then again softer. Like he was scared I'd answer. I opened the door slowly. His eyes searched mine like maybe he still lives somewhere inside them. Mirror, I leaned against the doorframe. You lost the right to say my name like that. He swallowed hard. I needed to see you. You already did. At the gala, at my worst, at your worst. Pick a memory. This isn't about the gala. I crossed my arms. Then what's it about, Arav? I couldn't leave things like that. You already did. He stepped closer. Do you hate me? I wish I did. Hate's easy. But you made me doubt myself. That's worse. I never meant to. Don't. I held up a hand. If you say you didn't mean to, I'll scream. He laughed bitterly. You sound stronger. I am stronger. I was wrong. Mirror, you were cruel. Silence hung heavy between us. I miss you, he whispered. I stared at him. You miss owning me. That's not fair. It's not supposed to be. He sat on the edge of my couch like he didn't belong, like he knew I wouldn't ask him to stay. Is there any chance left? My heart stuttered. Just once, then steadied. There was, I said softly. A long time ago, somewhere between lie 1 and lie 5, I never stopped loving you. Then maybe your version of love is the problem. His voice cracked. I regret everything. No, Arav, you regret losing me. Not what you did to me. He looked down. You taught me, I said, voice calm, to stop believing in almosts. I deserved that. You deserved a lot worse. He stood slowly. I just needed to hear it. Hear what? That I broke something that mattered. I nodded. You did. But lucky for me, I rebuild fast. He paused at the door. If things had been different, they weren't. He nodded and walked out of my life for good this time. I didn't cry. 2 hours later, my phone lit up. Lena, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to fix it. I stared at the screen for 3 seconds, then pressed delete. That night, Zoya crawled into my bed. Couldn't sleep, she said, her tiny arms wrapping around my waist. I kissed the top of her head. Nightmares? No, just missed you. I'm right here. She looked up at me with sleepy eyes. Are you still sad? I thought about it. About everything. And then said, not really, just tired. Zoya yawned. You'll be okay, right? I smelled. I already am. You cut your hair, Yusuf said. Felt like time. He smiled into his coffee. It suits you. I know. We sat across from each other at a tiny corner cafe, tucked between bookstores and city noise. I hadn't planned to run into him, but life had a way of circling back the things that mattered. You look lighter, he said. I feel it. He raised an eyebrow. So what's next? I shrugged. Work, travel, maybe. I got offered a creative director spot in Dubai. That's huge. It is. And for once, I didn't think about who to tell first. I just wanted it for me. About time. It had been a year, 12 months since Arav's name stopped opening doors. 11 since Lena's passport photo ended up in someone's goodbye email. She moved to Prague. No forwarding address. No apology that I wanted. Arav, he was jobless, under federal investigation, still trying to charm his way out of a paper trail that didn't love him back. Do you ever think about them? Yusuf asked. Sometimes, and I feel nothing. That's progress. I laughed. That's peace. Did you ever love me? Yusuf asked. I looked at him for a long time. I could have, I said, but you didn't. I wasn't ready to love someone healthy. He nodded like he already knew. And now? He asked. Now, I want to be whole before I give pieces away again. He leaned back. Smart girl. I finished my tea. Maybe next year. He smiled. I'll hold space. Just don't wait. He held my gaze. I won't have to. That evening, I walked down to the river. The same place where I once broke knees on gravel. Hands trembling, mascara bleeding. Now, I just stood there, holding a tiny silver chain in my palm. The necklace Arav gave me the night he said, "You're the only truth in my life." Lena had picked it out. I'd found the receipt later. Fitting. I looked at the river, calm, endless. Here, I whispered, take this lie with the rest. I opened my hand and let the necklace fall. The water didn't flinch. It just took it, like it had taken my tears before. But this time, I didn't cry. You okay? Yusuf had asked earlier. Better than okay, stronger. No, just real. On my way home, I passed a group of girls laughing on a bench. One of them reminded me of me years ago, hopeful, naive, soft. I didn't envy her. I respected her. She was the girl who hadn't been broken yet. But me, I was the girl who came back. I paused at my building's door, looked up at the sky. You can keep your lies, I whispered. I kept my soul, and that was enough. That was everything.